On September the 24th of 2022, an unidentified tourist tried to get too close to a pack of bull elk and was charged by one of them in Estes Park, Colorado. Megan Foster uploaded a video of the incident to her social media account, enraged by the tourist's careless attitude towards the animals. In the recording, the man could be seen moving closer and closer to the elk in order to get a better picture, even though they began to show signs of discomfort and stress. Foster noted one of the animals was drooling heavily and urinating repeatedly, trying to mark its territory. Though several other people surrounded the herd as well, none of them got as close as the man in question. Foster explained that the tourist had been taking pictures of the animals for over 15 minutes when the attack occurred. The perturbed bull elk lowered its antlers and began charging at the man who'd gotten closer to the herd, prompting him to turn and run. In the background, people could be heard cheering for the animal. The video quickly went viral, with viewers almost unanimously siding with the bull elk for defending its herd from invasive humans. Number 9. Sydney Kraft. 23-year-old Sydney Kraft died after losing her footing and falling into a waterfall in Roseburg, Oregon on July the 31st of 2016. Kraft, who owned a sporting goods store, was attempting to take a picture of a friend who was jumping into the river from the top of the waterfall when she lost her balance. She plummeted 90 feet to the river's edge. The friend who'd been accompanying her called 911 and unsuccessfully attempted to perform CPR while waiting for paramedics to arrive. Though Kraft did initially survive the descent, by the time first responders reached the scene, she'd succumbed to her injuries. Number 8. Hassan Arifin. On June the 6th of 2022, 19-year-old Hassan Arifin was visiting the Kasan Kulim Zoo in Riau, Indonesia, when he climbed over the barrier separating the orangutan enclosure from tourists and was attacked. The video, uploaded to Twitter the day after the incident, immediately went viral. Arifin ignored the zoo's rules in order to get a better angle for his video, as close to the orangutans as possible. According to the zoo's manager, it wasn't the first time Arifin had disregarded the rules about approaching the animals, and he'd reportedly been escorted off of the premises on several previous occasions. Not only did the man's actions put himself in danger, they also affected the health and well-being of the animals. In the video, Arifin desperately tried to escape the orangutan's grip as it grabbed onto his leg through the bars. He was eventually able to free himself and jump back behind the barrier. He apologized for his actions after facing widespread criticism brought on by the viral video. Number 7. Rebecca Clark. Hiker Rebecca Clark was gored by a bison in Texas's Caprock Canyon State Park after getting too close to the herd in October of 2022. Clark was attempting to pass by the animals when she stopped to record a video of them. One of the bison immediately grew agitated and charged at her, ramming her into a mesquite bush. She managed to get in contact with family members using her cell phone and waited for 50 minutes for help to arrive. Due to the severity of her wounds, Bush had to be airlifted to a hospital and remained under medical supervision for 6 days. Fortunately, she didn't require surgery and was eventually released. Clark uploaded the video of her frightening encounter to TikTok, where it quickly accumulated 2.1 million views. She claimed to have shared the footage in order to educate people on the dangers of approaching wild animals. The U.S. National Park Service recommends hikers remain at least 100 feet away from herds of bison and other animals. According to the Department of Wildland Resources and Utah State University, up to 50,000 people are attacked by wildlife each year. Number 6. Kristen and Ryan Yaldor. Florida couple Kristen and Ryan Yaldor were attacked by a hippopotamus while vacationing in Zimbabwe on December the 1st of 2018. While participating in a canoe trip in the Zambezi River with 2 tour guides, the Yaldors accidentally got too close to a mother hippopotamus and her calf. The animal swam underneath the couple's canoe and violently rammed it on its side. While Ryan was able to swim to the shore, the same could not be said for his wife. The hippopotamus bit into Kristen's leg and pulled her underwater, breaking her femur in the process. She was eventually able to break free, after which she and her husband had to wait an hour for a helicopter to rescue them. It was later revealed that the tour guide's radio and cell phone didn't work properly, which prevented help from arriving sooner. Kristen was first taken to a local hospital which lacked the proper equipment to treat her beyond sewing the injury and offering her tetanus shots and morphine. She then spent 2 weeks in a trauma unit in Johannesburg, South Africa, where she underwent surgery once every 2 days. When she was finally able to return to the US, Kristen was hospitalized once more to replace the rod that had been inserted into her fractured leg, and also underwent several skin grafts. In total, from December of 2018 to December of 2019, she endured 14 different procedures and intensive physical therapy, eventually managing to regain most of the mobility of her leg. Number 5. Robert Irwin. The son of famed Australian zookeeper Steve Irwin was bitten by a carpet python he was attempting to rescue on July the 11th of 2020. Robert Irwin had been filming his encounter with the snake for the TV show Crikey, It's the Irwins, when the animal suddenly lunged back and bit him in the face. Despite the frightening circumstance, Irwin kept his composure and managed to complete the rescue. Following the incident, he took a picture of himself, smiling at the camera, to show the resemblance of a similar attack his own father had experienced over a decade earlier. Fortunately, the carpet python is non-venomous, which meant the young man's life wasn't in jeopardy, but he was left with a pair of puncture wounds. Number 4. Curtis Plum. On July the 2nd of 2015, 38-year-old safari guide Curtis Plum was mauled by a leopard while traveling through the Kruger National Park in South Africa with a group of tourists. The attack was captured on camera by one of the tourists, Grant Ford. Plum had reportedly stopped the car to allow people to take pictures, at which point he leaned out the window to see what kind of animal was hiding underneath the nearby bushes. It was at that moment that a leopard jumped into the open-top Jeep and attacked him, biting and clawing at his arm. Fortunately, Plum was wearing a bush jacket, which mitigated the severity of his wounds. The tourists attempted to scare the feline away, but their attempts proved fruitless. A Hyundai minivan traveling ahead of the tour was alerted to the situation, and its driver used the car's door to shove the wild animal away, but the leopard refused to release its prey. It was only when Plum began driving in reverse that he finally broke free from the predator's grip, though the leopard then began running towards the car. The safari guide drove over the wild animal in order to put a stop to the attack. Plum had to undergo surgery for his various injuries but managed to make a full recovery. Number 3. Amber Bitzer. 25-year-old Amber Bitzer was violently attacked by a butcher bird in Brisbane, Australia, on October the 10th of 2020. She was reportedly sitting in her backyard when the bird landed too close to her and immediately became aggressive. Butcher birds are known for their vicious attacks against their natural prey, which include reptiles and rats. The animal became violent with no apparent provocation and attacked Bitzer's face, inflicting several large gashes. The young woman was immediately taken to the hospital where she was treated for her injuries. Bitzer stated that the incident left her emotionally scarred and with a fear of leaving the house. Her roommate shared her concerns and began to use protective gear while hanging out clothes in the backyard. The bird subsequently attacked Bitzer's home once again, but she avoided any injuries because of her decision to wear a helmet and sunglasses while out in the garden.
Hey, it's Carl. Be sure to subscribe and leave your comments in the comments section below, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get your video going next.
Number 2. Rebecca Crawford. On June the 24th of 2020, Rebecca Crawford was involved in a near-fatal accident when she walked too close to the edge of a cliff while trekking through Lamorna Cove in West Cornwall, England. The 37-year-old woman had been enjoying a walk with her sister, Debs, when she sprained her ankle on a narrow path and consequently plummeted off the side of the cliff, falling 60 feet to the ground below. Her sister immediately called emergency services to the scene, and within minutes, an air ambulance was dispatched to the area. The doctors doubted Crawford could have survived such a fall, but she was alive when they arrived, having suffered 6 spinal fractures as well as a head injury. Crawford's injuries didn't require surgery, and she was discharged from the hospital 5 days after the accident occurred. She walked with crutches for several weeks thereafter, but managed to make a full recovery by September. Number 1. Isaac Coolin. High school student Isaac Coolin was attacked by a mother goose during a golf tournament in Blissfield, Michigan on April the 21st of 2018. The teen had reportedly gotten too close to the animal's nest while walking down the fairway, and the ensuing encounter with the agitated bird was captured by Devon Gilson Pitts, the parent of another student participant. Although Coolin was accompanied by other golfers, he was the only one targeted by the protective goose. The viral video showed the teenager being charged by the animal, prompting him to fall to the ground for the sake of self-preservation. The goose continued its attack even after he was down, but subsequent reports indicated that the golfer didn't suffer any serious injuries during the incident. Thanks for watching. Would you rather do a handstand on the edge of the Grand Canyon or sit in a bathtub filled with piranhas? Let us know in the comments section below.